I only have 5 of them left in this country now because the rest of them were all deported. And so me coming into this walk was me being tired of every single year having to say goodbye to countless people that I love and that made my life possible and always motivated and pushed me to be a better person and to give back to my community, and seeing that no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't do that, and I couldn't protect them, and I couldn't save them from all of these injustices. So that's pretty much how this happened. And so the Trail of Dreams, the way that it came about, I went to New York City because I for the past 2 years have been working at the Florida Immigrant Coalition doing community organizing work. FLIC is a nonprofit organization that focuses on grassroots organizing, and so I had been working there helping with a scholar an internship and scholarship program that trains high school students in social justice and community organizing, with the hope that after they graduate from college, they'll come back to their local communities and help to rebuild the framework there and build alliances and address some of these social issues that are there. And so while I was at this conference in New York, I was having a conversation with other organizers there who are all familiar with these issues about what's happening to immigrants, what's happening to students. And we were just talking about how the DREAM Act, which is the only legislation that has existed to this point that would provide a pathway to citizenship and access to education to students like Felipe and myself, how that law had been introduced in Congress in 2001, and how it's been reintroduced every single year ever since 2001, and it's never passed. It's gotten closer and closer, but it's never passed. And so we were saying, what are we supposed to do? We can't just keep waiting. We can't just keep allowing Congress to keep saying, oh, wait 6 more months, wait 1 more year, because in this time period, every single year, there's 65,000 students graduating in the same situation. Many of them are giving up. They're giving up on their own lives. They're giving up on their futures, on their academics. I've heard students tell me, well, I know that I'm the best physics student in my school right now, but I've already accepted that I'm just going to be a janitor for the rest of my life because that's the only thing I have access to. So we were talking about, these students keep giving up on themselves. They keep getting deported. Their families keep being torn apart, and some of them are beginning to commit suicide. There's more and more cases of these students committing suicide because they see no hope in their futures anymore. So then it's like, well, what can we do? And he was telling me, well, I've always had this dream that we could recreate something like the Underground Railroad, where you have these youth and these family members walking from one community to another, reaching out to one another and being welcomed and told, I understand your struggle, I understand your dream, and I'm here to support you, and I'm here to help you realize that. And really guiding each other to the people that with a single signature can make that difference. So that's when, even though it sounded like a crazy idea, and even though, it was like this really long walk that most people don't even believe will even make it, we were like, well, maybe that's what it takes, we need to reach out to people, we need to be willing to make those relationships and be very purposeful about how we're changing the world and taking a stance on our own to change those relationships and change those power dynamics, because nobody's going to do it for us. The politicians are definitely not going to do it for us. So, that's what we were doing. And in terms of funds, since this all started out of this vision and this passion, a lot of it was we embarked upon this with the hope and the belief that there's other people that believe in students, that believe in their potential, believe in family unity, that believe that, that you can't just call someone a criminal for existing, and that those people would help us move forward, just like this whole Underground Railroad system. And it's worked, we started out and people literally just started giving donations, and we've gone through neighborhoods where mothers have taken off the jacket off of their backs and they're like, you look cold, take this with you, As a mother, I want you to be warm. I want you to be safe at night. And people have been like donating lunches and dinners and opening up their homes for us to stay at their homes. Churches have allowed us to stay in their places. And we just keep moving forward, continue spreading the message, continue stopping at legislative offices and telling them that this is what we stand for and this is what we need to keep our country safe and make America better.
I have a question. Prior to your college